Hey there. So, this is the third time I have tried to make this video. I have a very barky dog tonight. I'll try again. Maybe this time will be the charm. Okay, so we just had a full moon yesterday. Full moon in Cancer. Of course, the sun is in Capricorn. Um, and Yes, and it was kind of right in the middle, close to the middle of Cancer by degrees, like 13, just over 13 degrees of Cancer. I recently, like a couple of weeks ago, I was wondering, are there are there tarot cards that correspond to the degrees of the moon or the phases of the moon? Excuse me. And I actually found that there are cards that correspond to different phases. Now, I couldn't find a chart. I found a chart of the phases of the moon, and then I just wrote the cards that correspond. So, full moon. And no surprise here, the full moon is represented by two cards, both the sun and the moon. All right. So, no big surprise that it would be that way. Uh, nice. Okay. When I was thinking about this, the energy of this most recent full moon, and we are still in the we are still in it. It's not just one day and done. We're still there. What I was feeling, um, and this, what I was feeling is parents seated at a dining table with the mother at one end, the father at the other, and in between their children. And even though there was a great deal of space, physical space between them, that they were in command of how the flow of that time, that let's say that meal would go, because they were communicating with each other either verbally or gestures or or looks or just I don't know, telepathically, however. But and that's what I was feeling. I was feeling like, even though there there might be a bit of chaotic energy between them, that by the two of them together were kind of emitting a hum toward the whole expanse between them to create calm. And perhaps that was wishful thinking on my part, but that's the imagery I was receiving. And actually, that's the feeling that I had with this full moon. We just flipped into a new year. There are lots of there's lots of stuff happening in this world. Um, Up, down, uh, whatever. There's a lot of energy, and for me, um, I just it felt natural to just kind of pull back and not only observe, but to just, I don't know, put the, I don't know how really to describe it, but to not be involved in the any the excitement between the sun and the moon, but just to hold the energy of peace and growth and joy, all the good stuff. Okay, so another thing I was thinking about with this moon, and this was kind of last minute as I was setting up the table, is the cardinal. I received this cardinal as a gift recently, and it's so pretty. It's red, but it has its base is sunshine yellow, and that's of course a male cardinal. I don't have a female version of the little statue. I do have 2 female cardinal feathers, and they're actually really special to me. I found them about 5 years ago, and for me, what they meant and what they symbolized was, at the time my mom had just passed away, and I had wondered a question, and I'm not going to bore you with the details, but very shortly, like within hours, I found the first of these feathers in a spot that truly related to the question I was asking. So I bring this up because I feel that that spirit, the ancestors, loved ones in a different realm, guides, angels, I feel that, as always, they are strongly there for us, collectively and individually. And to think in the analogy of in thinking about the parents at 2 ends of the table communicating and controlling what is happening between the 2 of them, the message is to me that the same energy can be, the same interaction can occur between those of us on this plane, on this physical plane, and those that are existing on different ones. Okay, so with that, I thought I would let me read the Sabian symbol. Let's see. I did look up the degree. I wasn't sure I was going to do this, but I haven't read it. So just over 13 degrees of Cancer would be 14 in the Sabian symbols in astrology. Okay, here we go. A very old man facing a vast dark space to the northeast. This is a symbol of the immeasurable reaches of past experience as a strengthening of the human spirit for its immediate destiny, and of the eternal rebirth through which man may discover that present aspiration and future achievement are without the slightest limitation in any terms of events to come. Here is an absoluteness of self as a completeness of expectation. There are no dark moments of outlook that cannot yield inspiration or assurance. The key word is sanction. When positive, the degree is a highly effective enlistment of deeper and hidden elements of life for some monetary end, and when negative, lack of purpose and utter chaos in understanding. So, yeah, I choose, I choose to focus on the imagery that came up for me, which is of harmonious control, in harmonious influence in our space. All right, so that was interesting. I like that, and and kind of fits in many ways. I am going to pull a card from the Angels and Ancestors deck, and I'm going to put these down. So one card for this full moon in Cancer period. For those of us that are watching. Okay, this is crazy, but okay, there's one on the floor, and I think I'm going to get it. Before I show this to you, I have a little shell here with a pendulum. On top of the pendulum, I had a white feather, which is something I keep there. And look at the card that came. And when the card flipped, the feather landed right about where I'm holding it. I told you they were working with us. I'm so teasing you, but not really, not teasing, just wow, what a wonderful affirmation. Wow. And I like that. We have the sun and the moon and the outer realm. And we're not just two. There is a working together. I love that. That is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Aw. Let me grab the one that went to the floor. It's interesting. There are two. And it's not so ethereal as this one, but this is maybe speaks a bit more to how, when we're in the day-to-day. And I like them together. So there is warrior, be fearless and stand strong, right here. And there is Shaolin master, be graceful in movement and action. And I think the aim is somewhere in between. All right, I like that. And that kind of does make me think a bit about the parents, no matter how I think in any situation, be it, and I'm not talking about physical sex, the physical sex of people, but in dynamics there's often and I know it can shift also, but there's going to be the good cop, bad cop, or or realistic and more realistic in a physical solid sense, and more dream oriented. That's bad. That's not the best example, but yeah, I think aiming somewhere in between. Okay. I was going to get another card, but I think, actually, I'm going to talk about this. And this is something I had been thinking about too, with different cards, that you might think of normally the warrior with the sun and the Shaolin master with the moon. The way I laid them down, though, was opposite. So to bring to bring strength and fearlessness in bringing out the intuitive nature of the moon, and to bring grace and like a gracefulness to the exuberant energy of the sun. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. All right, I'll leave it there. Many thanks to you, and that's it for now. Take care. Bye-bye.